Hello, welcome to part 5 of Biology Paper 2, Edexcel 2018. So we'll start with question 9. We finished question 8 last time. Figure 9. Figure 17 shows the concentration of the hormones estrogen and progesterone in the blood of women of different ages. So concentration of hormone in the blood, age in years. So use information from figure 17, so this one, to explain why women over the age of 50 are less likely to ovulate. Okay, so it's looking at a diagram. So women over 50, okay, women over 50 have lower levels of estrogen. So higher levels of estrogen are needed for luteinizing hormone, so LH, to be released to stimulate ovulation. Okay, right, the next one. Use information from figure 17 to explain why women are less likely to menstruate after the age of 60. So again, kind of the same type of thing. So low levels of estrogen, so that's one mark, low levels of estrogen. So low levels of estrogen, okay, prevents the lining of the uterus building up. So because you'd need a certain amount of estrogen to build up the uterine lining. Okay, so progesterone kind of maintains the lining. It doesn't build it up; it maintains it. So if you had low level of estrogen, the uterus lining wouldn't build up. Okay, because you'd need obviously the lining of the uterus to be shed to get menstruation. Menstruation is shedding of the lining, but you need the lining to build up in the first place. Okay, so explain how clomiphene therapy may increase the chance of a woman over the age of 50 becoming pregnant. Okay, so that's a certain drug which causes the release, okay, of FSH, a follicle, let me just write that, follicle stimulating hormone. Which causes eggs to develop okay, stimulating option, so causing LH, the luteinizing hormone, to be released, stimulating ovulation. Okay, the hormone progesterone is produced by corpus luteum, pituitary, thyroid, or uterus. Uterus doesn't produce any hormones. Thyroid produces some, but not that one. Pituitary doesn't produce. That's corpus luteum produces that. Okay, so now we've got a different hormone being talked about. Okay, explain how the release of adrenaline can result in the improved performance of an athlete. So adrenaline is also a hormone, a different type. So what adrenaline does, so adrenaline, so it's a funny word to spell, but it's there. Adrenaline, okay, increases the heart rate. So our body releases that to increase our heart rate, which increases blood flow. Okay, causing oxygen amounts to rise in the body, in the blood. Which increases, like that iguana earlier, isn't it? Which increases the respiration rate to increase. Which in turn, it's like a long kind of a long process here, which causes energy release in the muscles. Okay, so yeah, I don't want something that long for that one, just the certain words really there. Okay. Ooh, question 10, get on to the last question. Figure 18 shows an investigation into the growth of plant shoots. So when they come from the seed. Experiment 1, the tip of the shoot was removed from the plant. There was no growth in the shoot after 3 days. Experiment 2, the tip of the shoot was cut off and then placed back onto the shoot. The shoot had grown, so they cut it off and then put it back. The shoot had grown 6 millimeters after 3 days. So it grew. Might be a surprise. Give one variable that must have been controlled. They do like the experiments in this paper, don't they? So you need to note down experiments. Give one variable that must have been controlled for a plant shoot to grow vertically as shown in experiment 2. Okay, so we're just talking about the control. Give one, only one mark there. So you could say light intensity was kept constant. I think about shoots, but they're very light dependent, aren't they? So light intensity was constant. So it probably was better to do this with a lamp inside than just rely on the sunlight, because you could have a sunny day or we could have a cloudy day, and that could have influenced, like the weather could have influenced things. Okay, there. And another one. Next question. State one conclusion. So just one again, that could be made based on these 2 experiments. Okay, so you could say obviously the tip is needed, isn't it, for the growth? So you could say the tip, this would give you a mark, and it's just easy to get this mark. The tip controls growth. Okay, that's actually will give you the 1 mark. Okay, you wouldn't even need to work. We'll talk about plant hormones in a minute, but you wouldn't even need to. That's from an experiment. It's a bit like you sort of prune rose bushes in the garden or any type of plant. You cut the tips off, okay, because it stops it growing from that point, and it will start to grow in other parts. So what you do, yeah, it's these gardeners, or you can do it yourself, or your parents may be doing it. Again, cutting tips off the plants, like the shoots, so they don't grow anymore. If your plant's growing enough that you want it, like a hedge, isn't it? So it will stop it growing taller a lot of the time. Okay, so talking about that, which plant hormone causes the growth in the plant shoot? So chlorophyll is not a hormone, ethene is not a hormone, so gibberellin or auxin. So you've probably been doing so many lessons that you know auxin. I remember doing that at school, and so many lessons auxin controls the plant growth in the tip. Give one way that this investigation, so again, just one way, the investigation could be explained. You say why it could be improved. Okay, so Yes, lots of different ways you could do this. You could just repeat it. I'll give you a mark. So a nice easy mark for you. So repeat the experiment with more plant shoots. I did it once. Okay. Repeat the experiment with more plant shoots. In science, you're going to have to do things quite a lot of times to prove your theory. Do it once, and you can't do it again. They won't take it because there could have been something going on. Okay, to improve validity and identify anomalies. Okay, I mean, you could have talked about other things being controlled, couldn't you? Yeah, I was thinking about plants. A lot of things affect it. Okay, so things like control temperature and control the soil. Okay, things like that. You could have said question 10 continues. Right, so marram grass. I've never heard of that, but we'll have a look. I don't worry if you've never heard of something. It's just obviously about the application knowledge. Okay, you have to remember every single type of plant in the world. Okay, because I've never heard of this one. But it says grass, so that gives you obviously a clue. Marram grass is a plant that grows on exposed areas of sand dunes. Okay, so probably when we see at the seaside, I didn't know it's called that. I knew it was a grass, but I didn't know exactly what it's called. Figure 19 shows marram grass growing and a cross section through a leaf of marram grass. Upper surface of leaf, thick, so that's the upper bit, waxy cuticle trapped air in the center, hairs on lower surface, stomata in the pits. Explain how marram grass is adapted to grow or survive in the hot, windy and dry conditions of a sand dune. Okay, so let's think about the plant overall. So let's think about the plant before we talk about the leaf. We've got two pictures there, the plant. So grass is flexible. It does not break in the wind. It's not that tall, is it? Okay. It's flexible and does not break in the wind. Okay. Also, leaves are thin. Okay. So long and thin. So not broad leaves, long and thin. Okay, to reduce wind resistance. Okay, so you don't get broadleaf plants near the beach in a windy area like that. Okay, so they break. It's a bit like when there's a storm and the trees are in leaf, you get more trees coming down than if the trees had lost their leaves. Okay, in the autumn to reduce wind resistance. So that's about the plants. I'm going to talk about a leaf in a minute. Okay, the leaf, we've got that. Okay, leaf. So leaf is rolled up to trap air. We're told that. Okay. So also we're told it's a thick waxy cuticle. So to prevent water loss, remember it's a dry condition, it wants to keep the water. To prevent water loss, the leaf has a dry, waxy cuticle. Okay, so with the stomata inside it and not on the outside. So also, stomata are inside. So not on outer surface. To prevent water loss. Okay, and we've got some hairs, so hairs on lower surface, so that hairy bit, wasn't it, surface. Okay, to stop air movement, to reduce air movement and reduce, again, water loss or transpiration. So remember, when air blows across a plant, it can also take the water with it, and transpiration. So that would give us, definitely give us our 6 marks. Okay. So see, windy and dry. Okay, so thank you for listening. That's the end of that paper. We've got to the end there. Okay, I'll leave that up there, okay, for you to look at. I thank you for listening and hope to see you in another video. Thank you. Goodbye.